Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's Monday. That means it's time for me to give you guys a short update here on my training, how my training's been going, kind of what I've been doing on the bike, and basically that sort of thing. This video review is going to cover from the week of February 20th through yesterday, which was February 26th, and on the 20th I actually took my rest day for the week. So basically started off the week with my rest day. So I came into the 21st and I did the Trainer Road Frisell workout, which was a 4x9 minute sweet spot interval workout at 95% FTP. I did a 30-minute warm-up for the ride, so I basically did 2 hours on the bike, roughly 40 miles give or take. Good ride. I like working on these. I like riding at this just below threshold pace. It's challenging. The best way I can describe these kind of intervals is they're very uncomfortable. They make it very uncomfortable, but they are manageable, and that's kind of how you should feel doing one of these kind of workouts. So that's how I started the week off, and then actually later on in the evening, I did my plank position hold, and I bumped up the time a little bit. Did that at 5 minutes and 5 seconds, so made a slight increase on my plank position. Came back on the 22nd, and I did Trainer Road's Mountain Drum, which is a very long endurance ride. It's a 3-hour, 45-minute ride. I did a 15-minute warm-up to give me 4 hours on the bike total. Again, basically a lot of endurance pace riding between that 60-70% FTP range, and then some more difficult intervals up as high as like 85% of FTP. This was a very tough workout, a very taxing workout. I think the TSS, the training stress score for this ride, was like 180 or 184, 180, something like that. This is a very tough ride. And like I've told you guys before, riding 4 hours on the trainer where you get no breaks, no coasting, no stoppage and pedaling. A 4-hour ride outdoors, I would argue, is equivalent to probably close to 6 hours outside riding, maybe even longer, depending. So a very challenging ride here. Again, the next day, I actually, in the morning, I did my chair position hold. And I did that, I actually went up 10 seconds from my previous time. So I did that at 4 minutes this time around. Very challenging hold. But it's a great core exercise. I like doing that. I'm actually due to do it either today or tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. And then later on in the afternoon, I did Trainer Road's Flat Top, which was another 3-hour aerobic endurance ride at 60 to 70% FTP intervals. Did have 3 power sprints early on in the workout. I did a 15-minute warm-up. So I did 3 hours, 15 minutes on the bike, roughly 63 miles, give or take. So another long endurance ride. And then on the, actually the 24th, I took the 24th off. And the reason why I did that is because, I just did back-to-back days of 4 hours and 3 hours on the trainer. So 7 hours total, maybe equivalent to 10 plus hours of outdoor riding. I was pretty fatigued at that point, and I did my workout later on in the afternoon, and I had to work the following afternoon. So again, in order to make my ride, I was going to have to basically kind of ride on short rest, and I honestly, guys, just didn't feel up to it. Felt fatigued, felt I'd be better off focusing on recovering. So basically, I took the next day, I think that was Friday, because I had to work Friday afternoon, because I had to work all weekend. So I worked Friday afternoon, decided to not do my ride, so I wouldn't have to ride on a short rest. And if I get into a position where I feel like, I'm just not really into the ride, or don't feel I can give it my 100% all effort, I think you're better off focusing on recovering. So that's what I did on Friday. Basically took the day off from riding. And then on Saturday, I came back on Saturday after a rest day and hit Trainer Road's Aniakchak, which is a very tough ride. This was a 2-hour ride at a 15-minute warm-up for 44, give or take, on the bike. But you see here, I did 67 minutes. Excuse me, I had 67 minutes of riding between 88 and 95% FTP. And if you guys can see there on the graph, those recovery intervals, even in the recovery intervals, you're still kind of working in that aerobic endurance pace. So this is a very, this is a very challenging ride, but this is a very enjoyable ride. And as you guys noticed there, I actually bumped up my FTP by 2 percentage points going into this ride. I was just, again, coming off a rest day. I was feeling really good. I was feeling motivated. I was feeling rested. I had plenty of food on board. In a couple of hours before the ride, I had like 2 big Coca-Colas. I had 2 chocolate bars. I mean, I was coming into the ride like with plenty of fuel on board, ready to go. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make an FTP bump here and try to hit this out. And I actually felt really good. Up until that last interval, I felt awesome. I did struggle a little bit with the last interval, but I did manage to get through it. I didn't have to backpedal, didn't have to downscale the intensity or anything. I got through the ride at 295, so that was a very motivating ride. Felt really good. Challenging workout. And then, of course, the next day I came in to Trainer Road Gibbs, and that is a 2-hour aerobic endurance pace ride between 60 and 70% FTP. Did a 15-minute warm-up. I felt really good. That was last night's ride. Felt really good in the bike last night. Did 2 hours, 15 minutes total, 45 miles roughly. And then last night, I finished that up a few hours later with my plank position hold. Did another time increase and bumped that up to 5 minutes and 10 seconds. So that was my week, guys. Had a really good week. This is actually I think this is my highest volume week of the winter. As you guys know, I have recently made the adjustment over to the Trainer Road traditional base plan, which has you riding a lot more, which has you riding basically more miles, higher TSS training stress score values, and that put my weekly totals at 13 hours 45 minutes on the bike. So basically 14 hours on the bike this week, which is certainly my longest of the winter. And I came in, I'd have been in roughly 272 miles, give or take. But so a very good week. I feel like my body's adjusting to this higher TSS platform really well. I feel good today. I've got a ride later on today. I'll be doing to start off my next week. But all in all, guys, I feel really good. I'm still working on my core exercises, still making the time increases on those exercises, which is helping my core strength, which is helping me on the bike. I'm liking the transition over to the higher volume riding. As monotonous as the indoor trainer can be, it's very difficult to argue that when it comes to getting in quality training, the indoor trainer is very hard to beat. I love my Wahoo KICKR. I love riding a Trainer Road. You guys know that. Can't say enough good things about Trainer Road. So that's my week, guys. Had a really good week on the bike. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you guys are doing right now. I'm curious to to hear what everybody else is doing. How your riding's going. What training plan are you in? What have you got coming up on the horizon? Let me know this stuff, guys. We can get a discussion going here in the comments. I'm interested to hear what you guys are all doing out there on the bike, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys right back here on the channel next week for next week's update video.